Speaker number 1, Chay Dahill, Suppositories and Oral History. Suppositories and Oral History. Chay Dahill, give it up for him. What's going on? Oh, he's going to give me some more time here. Here he comes. Give it up for him.
I have a messed up group of friends. They love to make jokes about suppositories. So do I. However, whenever any of us make a joke about suppositories, being a very inquisitive person, I find myself asking, who invented the suppository? How did someone come up with the idea of sticking an aspirin up their ass? I got tired of asking these questions, so I finally did the research. Like everyone, I started my research on Wikipedia. It turns out I found the one topic that does not exist on Wikipedia. That means everything I am telling you tonight was me cross-referencing the WebMD discussor forums and a hippie website about the benefits of taking your daily vitamins via the rectum. That means everything I say tonight should be taken with a grain of salt, which is horrible advice for a suppository. It turns out the suppository was invented over 2,000 years ago in Mesopotamia and at the same time in Mesoamerica. That means there were at least 2 individuals who came up with the exact same idea. They both must have saw a pine cone and went, hey, I wonder what happens when I shove this up my ass. They woke up the next day and their hemorrhoids were gone. Now, that was only the beginning. It could not have ended there. Those 2 individuals then had to have the balls to go and tell other people what they did. I am convinced there could have only been 3 reactions. The first one, what the fuck did you do with the pine cone? The second one, yeah, I'd try that. And the third one being the inquisitive people like me, where's the pine cone now? After these cultures had perfected the suppository, there had to be some medicine men who were going, well, if you can take medicine orally and you can take it rectally, what other orifices can you stick medicine in? I feel bad for the men who drew the short straw. Yikes. In Western society, the suppository didn't actually really get picked up until the late 1500s. Towards the end of the 1500s, the French king, King Henry II, took a gut wound during a jousting tournament. His doctors told him that he could not eat until his stomach got better. So during that time period, the king was fed his nutrients via his anus. The real victim of this story is the king's food taster. Yes. The guy who has to taste all of the king's food to make sure it's not poisoned. Sacre bleu, the king. The king is having ribs again. Oh. The Austrians have invented cocktail weenies. They are like this long. Yes. Yes. At this point, I want to take a side and say it's a little nerve-wracking to pretend you're getting ass raped by a rib in front of 400 people. Hi, Mom. I'm kidding. She's not here. She's ashamed of me. But anyways, back to the king. During that time, he was given his nutrients via his rectum for 2 weeks. Yes, for 2 weeks, the king and the food taster dined on chicken cordon bombhole. After 2 weeks, his doctor said that the king was healthy enough to start eating food the more conventional way once again. Almost immediately, the king had an ulcer and died. So the doctors came up to the conclusion that eating during a gut wound was bad for you, but having stuff shoved up your ass was really healthy. Since then, the suppository stayed pretty much the same until about 100 years ago, when it started evolving. It became greasier and more torpedo shaped to make insertion a little easier. It also became more gelatin-like so that your anus could better absorb everything. And today, the suppository is actually a $370 million a year industry. Yeah, that is a figure like some suppositories I just pulled out of my ass. It turns out there is not much about the suppository economics on the internet either. One thing that there is a lot about suppositories, though, is that researchers are actually working on a marijuana-based suppository. It is meant to replace opiates. They do say that this will significantly increase the economy of suppositories. There are also a lot of concerns that this will become the first drug to be used recreationally up your ass. But regardless, this is all just proof that one man's treasure is another man's pain in the ass. All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the show.